Which Tk'emlups sacred Musqueam territory. I want to welcome you here on behalf of your host, the Vancouver School Board. We are here to share with you truthful words and very important words. So I welcome you all to this moment in time. Thank you for joining us. Nutsamad. In the prayer, the first half, I'm asking the infinite and our collective ancestors, asking them to please lift the spirits of the 215 spirits that were at Kamloops, to lift them up so that they're free. Help them to be free. Know that they're free now. The second part, I'm also asking the infinite and our collective ancestors to please open all of our hearts and minds to the truth of the words that you're going to hear, and the truth of Canada's history towards my friends and relatives across what's called Canada. Canada is an Iroquois word for village. We all belong to the same village, so we all need to know the same truth. Nutsamad, Coast Salish language, means we are one. We are one. Thank you very much. take care, and please hear the words that are going to be spoken today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tanzi, good day. My name is Desjarlais. My traditional name is Kamanisukamawat Pisuwat, which translates from Nihiawiwan into English as Helper of the Thunderbirds. I'm the daughter of Robert Edmund Desjarlais, Nahale Métis, and the daughter of Diane Lorraine Johnson, whose ancestry is English, French, and Spanish. I'm a member to the Cold Lake First Nations, and I'm a Treaty 6 Iskwē. I'd like to begin by thanking Elder Shane Point for his good words and his medicine. We're gathered here today virtually in support of Chief Roseanne Casimir and the Tk'emlups Secwépmc Nation. Singing and drumming is our medicine. We raise our voices, we raise our drums today to help sing those 215 precious children home. With that, I am grateful now the words of our old ones, our elders, survivors, their truth will be heard. Their tapway will be heard. Intergenerational survivors, community, and nations. This is Canada's reckoning. I send out prayers to all and hope that as we lift and sing together, that we can be together as Natsamat, as Shane has shared. With that, we'll pass it over to District Vice Principal David Delorme.
Tansei, hello. My name is David Delorme. I am the District Vice Principal of Indigenous Education for the Vancouver School Board. I am Métis Cree, originally from the Treaty 6 territory in Saskatchewan. I would first like to begin by acknowledging the 215 children found at the Kamloops Residential School. Sadly, this is not an exception or an isolated incident. There can be no hiding from this fact. It is absolutely critical to acknowledge this truth. Residential schools were a reality, a tragedy that existed in our country, and we have to own up to that. To the families and the community of Tk'emlups Secwépmc First Nation, and to all the survivors, I stand with you. These children will not be forgotten. As educators, we must work to share their stories while honoring the memories of everyone impacted by the residential school system. My thoughts and prayers are with you all. Merci. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Davida Marsden. I'm Anishinaabe, Queen Lakota on my mom's side. On my dad's side, I'm Scottish, Irish, English. I'm originally from Mississauga Scugog Island First Nations in Ontario. I live presently on the Tsleil-Waututh Reserve. My traditional name is Gnu Wabi, which means to see like a golden eagle. I'd like to introduce Chief Dan George song that we'll be singing, gifted to us by the George family. Oh, hello. next song we'd like to sing is Cherokee Morning Song, gifted to us by Walela. Just a few notes for drumming and singing. It's the heartbeat of the Mother Earth, of each other, the nation, and the universe. It breaks down stereotypes and racism. It aids in healing intergenerational trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder. It promotes student and community connections. It revitalizes Indigenous language, music, culture, and practice. It's excellent for connection and suicide prevention, addictions prevention. It's experiential learning, oral learning, ancestral connections. It's fun, it's safe, it's inspiring and inclusive. It includes all peoples, elders, adults, children. It alleviates public school stress. It regulates your heartbeat, your physical and your cognitive abilities. It stimulates and enhances memory, and it balances your emotions. Next, I'd like to introduce our Superintendent, Suzanne Hoffman.
Thank you, and welcome back. And I'm actually quite grateful for the need for a battery swap, because it enabled me, after the beautiful songs and the words of Shane, just to reground and center myself. As introduced, I'm Suzanne, and I'm the Superintendent of Schools. And I humbly stand before you today as an ally for and a supporter of Indigenous people, not only across Vancouver School District, but beyond. The discovery of a mass, unmarked grave and the remains of 215 children at the former Indian Residential School in Kamloops is a sad legacy of the horrific tragedy of residential schools across Canada. Our hearts and deepest condolences go out to the Tk'emlups people, Indigenous families, students, staff, and Indian residential school survivors as they grieve all across Turtle Island. It is important at this time that we take the time to pause and to reflect and to think about our role in understanding the truth of our history and also our efforts towards reconciliation. To our Indigenous families, students, staff, we acknowledge that the effects of colonization play out in your lives each and every day. We apologize for that, but we are incredibly grateful that you are here and that you are part of this work alongside each and every one of us. And we commit, as a school district, to the 94 calls to action from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. For those of us that are not Indigenous, I think it is very important that we take the time to learn. We need to listen deeply. We need to care, have empathy and compassion for those who have been most impacted by our history. And although we don't know everything right away, it's important that we make that commitment to learn. It is our responsibility as settlers on this land to be allies in the work as we go forward, to learn, to listen, to understand, and to help others in their journey of understanding our past. I do want to acknowledge the amazing work that has taken place in our district over the last 2 weeks. The work that has been done in an age-appropriate way to recognize what has happened. I am thankful for the conversations that have taken place in classrooms, by teachers and staff, with colleagues, with peers, in homes and in our communities, as this work around truth and reconciliation moves forward. Today we came together in healing, and tomorrow we need to come together in action. I'm incredibly grateful for Elder Shane Point for being a part of this day, and I'd like to welcome Elder Mary Jane Joe to say a few words at this time. Thank you everyone for taking the time to listen and to be a part of our day.
I lift my hands in greeting to you. My name is Mary Jane Joe. I am Nlaka'pamux, Interior Salish, and I have the pleasure of living in Coast Salish territory. Nlaka'pamux Injawa Niketko, that is my ancestral name. I spent 12 years at Kamloops Residential School. We had no choice in the matter. My mother spent 3 years at Kamloops. Her memories are being whipped and beaten for speaking one word, one sentence in her language. My 6 siblings attended Kamloops. They were traumatized. I was traumatized. It was a brick building. It was like being an inmate in an institution, an asylum. We had no rights. We had no freedoms. We were regulated, regimented, converted, all in cruelty. When I left there, my grandmother, my parents became medicine for me. They taught me what I had missed out on at the school. I received a drum when I graduated, but no drumstick. And I want to share how I got this drumstick. My grandmother made this for me. She went out to the willow bush. She chose a branch, but before she cut it down, she gave thanks to the Creator for giving us the willow branches. And then she put an offering on the ground to say thank you, because we don't take anything from the land without putting something back. And then she was free to cut this branch off and to make me a drumstick, which I treasure to this day. I treasure the drum because it was illegal, banned from our lives in the past. The drum is our voice. When we can't pray, sing, the drum can become our voice to the Creator. And that's the teaching of the late Mabel Joe in the Lower Nicolaban near Merritt, BC, where my family lived. The 4 drum beats represent honoring our ancestors. So today I want to honor our ancestors and the findings at Kamloops. The drum beat represents changing the atmosphere within a room, within an area. The vibration brings positive energy. I want to sing a healing song that I learned in 1992 when one of the churches here in Vancouver began the process of acknowledging their wrongdoing, the Anglican Church, St. Mary's of Kerrisdale. In that gathering, Ojibwe minister Father John Haskell from Minnesota sang an Ojibwe crane song, a healing song. And in my culture, the rattle represents a healing and reconciliation. And Father John gave us permission to sing that song. And I love that song, and I sing it as often as possible. The crane song represents a prayer bird. Quayo, 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 quayo. Quayo, 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 quayo. Quayo, 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 quayo. Quayo, 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 quayo. Haichkasiyam. Thank you for the positive efforts you are doing in this era of reconciliation. We can all do our part. The opportunity is there today. In my language, I say zo zo FG iatlo, and that means be strong, of good courage, and stay well. Haichka, thank you.